You know the scene, right? The confetti cannons blast, the golden buzzers slam down, and you're watching someone's life change right there on that stage. For millions of us, America's Got Talent is the ultimate show where dreams come true. It's just this huge spectacle of incredible talent, super emotional backstories, and these moments that you never forget.
But how much of that is the whole story? What if I told you that behind the curtain of this TV giant, there are all these fascinating mechanics at play? We're going to pull back that curtain and look at how everything gets shaped, from the prize money all the way to the talent you actually see on stage.
All right, let's dive right in and start with the big one, the million-dollar question. I mean, it's the phrase you hear over and over again in every finale, right? It's that ultimate prize that every single contestant is dreaming of. $1 million. It sounds so incredible, doesn't it? A single life-altering grand prize. But, well, the reality of how that money actually gets into the winner's hands, it's a little more complicated than you might think. So, here's the catch, the fine print that most people miss. That million-dollar prize, it's not like you get a giant check and deposit it the next day. Nope, it's actually paid out as something called an annuity. That means the winner gets $25,000 a year for 40 years. And, this is a big and, that's before taxes. So you might be asking, what exactly is an annuity? Well, think of it as just a long-term payout plan. Now, winners do get another choice. They can opt for a lump sum payment instead. But that lump sum is a lot less. We're talking somewhere around $430,000. And you guessed it, that's also before the taxman gets his share.
Okay, so that's the prize money. Now let's talk about the talent itself. The whole show is built on this really powerful idea, right? The idea of discovering these hidden gems. You know, the diamond in the rough who just needs that one big shot to make it.
I mean, we've all seen those shots, haven't we? These massive lines of hopeful contestants snaking around a convention center, all just waiting for their one chance to perform for the producers. It's a really powerful image, this idea of pure, raw opportunity.
But here's a little reality check. While those open calls definitely happen, the show's producers aren't just leaving things to chance. They have talent scouts who are actively hunting for talent. They're scrolling through YouTube, through TikTok, looking for polished, professional, and sometimes even viral acts to make sure the show is absolutely packed with top-tier entertainment.
And you know, this careful production goes way beyond just who's on stage. Think about the audience for a second. Have you ever wondered how they always seem to catch that perfect shot of someone gasping or a tear rolling down a cheek at just the right moment?
Well, here's how they do it. And it's pretty clever. It's all about the magic of TV editing. Producers will often film a whole bunch of what they call wild shots of the audience. They'll get them cheering, booing, looking totally shocked, all before the acts even perform. Then they just sprinkle those reactions in wherever they need to really ramp up the drama. All right, let's talk about how the show itself has changed. Because believe me, the AGT we watched today wasn't built in a day. It has evolved like crazy over the years to become the absolute powerhouse that it is right now. Just take the hosts, for example. I think for most of us, Terry Crews is the face of AGT, right? But get this, he's actually the fifth person to have that job. He's following in the footsteps of some serious legends like Regis Philbin, Jerry Springer, and of course, the guy who did it for 8 seasons, Nick Cannon. And it's not just the hosts that have changed. Some of the most iconic parts of the show weren't always there. I mean, can you even imagine AGT without the golden buzzer? It's crazy, but it wasn't even a thing until season 9. And it wasn't until the next season, season 10, that it got its awesome power to send acts straight to the live shows. The show is always changing, even launching that extreme spinoff for the really huge, dangerous stuff. And speaking of how things have changed, one of the most interesting trends on the show is actually the age of the winners. Yeah, AGT has this amazing history of crowning some seriously young talent. The youngest winner ever was Bianca Ryan, and she won the whole thing back in the very first season when she was just 11 years old. And since then, we've seen other young powerhouses like Grace VanderWaal and Darcy Lynn Farmer take home the title when they were both only 12.
Okay, so what does it actually take to win this whole competition? If you really break down the list of champions over the years, a really surprising, kind of weird pattern starts to emerge. Now, your first guess might be singers, right? I mean, it makes sense. They seem to get a ton of screen time and those really emotional backstory packages. But if you look at the stats, that's actually not the case.
The answer, and you might not believe this, is ventriloquists. Yup, 3 different ventriloquists have won the entire competition. It just goes to show you that this classic, kind of old-school art form has a massive appeal with the AGT audience.
And let me tell you, winning AGT can totally change your life. Just look at Terry Fader. After he won, he signed one of the biggest deals in Las Vegas history. He became a massive headliner, one of the highest paid entertainers on the entire Vegas Strip. That's the incredible power of the AGT platform.
So now let's zoom out a little bit, because the AGT story is so much bigger than just the United States. It's part of this absolutely massive global phenomenon. And here's a really fun fact for you. Even though the Got Talent format was created by the very, very British Simon Cowell, the American version was actually the first one to air. You could say America was the guinea pig. There were some production delays over in the UK, so the US show hit the airwaves first and introduced the whole world to the format.
And since then, wow, the format has just exploded. It's been remade in over 70 countries all across the globe. We're talking everywhere, from Albania to Vietnam. It really is a true global talent machine. And its success isn't just something people say, it's actually official. The Got Talent franchise holds the Guinness World Record for being the world's most successful reality TV format, period, on the entire planet. So all of this brings us to one last question. And this one's for you. Now that you know about the recruited talent, the prize money annuity, and the edited audience reactions, does knowing how this sausage is made change how you see the show? Does pulling back the curtain make you appreciate the spectacle even more? Or does it kind of take away some of the magic? It's definitely something to think about the next time you see that confetti fall.